Hello, welcome to the Cancer Cook's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making what I think is the best macaroni cheese. So I'm going to get started straight away with 250 grams of dried macaroni. I've already got a pan of salted water on the boil, so I'm just going to chuck that in. That's going to take 8 minutes. I want it properly cooked. I don't want it al dente. I just want a really nice soft pasta. And while that's cooking, we're just going to prepare the other ingredients. I've got 3 leeks here. I'm just going to top and tail these, and then I'm going to thinly slice them. Just going to get rid of the top green bits. And these don't need washing. They've already been pre-washed, so they haven't got any of that gritty soil in, but just check yours because you really don't want to get a mouthful of soil. I'm just going to roughly chop these and then pop them in a pan with a good sized knob of butter, a little bit of olive oil, and I want them to soften, don't want them too brown. And I definitely don't want them to burn. So into the pan they go. Just on a low heat, then good glug of olive oil. Decent chunk of butter. And I'm just going to leave those two things to do their own. So this recipe is one that I've adapted from Russell Norman's restaurant, Spatino, that used to be in Soho, and it's somewhere that David and I went. And it was a really good, fun place. They specialised in American comfort food, and you just sat at a bar and it was almost pitch black. You almost couldn't see what you were eating. And remember when we got there, David was a little bit reticent, but after a dirty martini, he soon settled into the vibe. I can't get all of the ingredients here that I need, so I've adapted it slightly with the type of cheeses I use, and I've gone with 3 hard cheeses. So I've got a Parmesan, I've got a Gouda, and then I've got mozzarella. And for this, you absolutely need the cheap, hard mozzarella, none of your fancy buffalo mozzarella. This comes pre-grated, which is going to save me a lot of time. This I'm going to have to grate myself. So with this recipe, you could put garlic in it. I found that David just couldn't cope with garlic at all. It was a real no-no for him. Just the smell of it would make him feel sick. So I've left the garlic out. But if you don't have any problems with garlic, or so the person you're cooking for doesn't have any problems with garlic, then add that in with the leeks. So I'm just going to grate this. You can use whatever cheese you like or whatever cheese you can get hold of. The only thing I would say is you want to avoid things like cheddar or anything that's got too much oil in it, because you don't want that slick of oil. It's not that we're avoiding fat, because there's fat galore in this recipe, but you just don't want that real oily, slick sort of on top of it when it's cooked. So that's my Gouda. I'm going to put the mozzarella in there as well. It's going to keep the two separately. And then here I've got my other ingredients. I've got some Dijon mustard, and then I've got some breadcrumbs. Now I'm using panko breadcrumbs, which are the Japanese breadcrumbs that you get from the specialty part of the supermarket. That's just because I'm fancy. You can use any breadcrumbs you want. And then with my Parmesan, I'm going to use half of it in the dish and I'm going to use half of it as a topping. So I'm just going to cut the rind off. And for the stuff that's going in with the macaroni cheese, we can just grate this quickly on the larger side of the grater. There we go. The other half I'm going to do on the other side because I want it to be slightly finer. And I'm just going to keep a little bit of this just to go on the top. The other here, and just go besides our breadcrumbs. I'm just going to check on my leeks. Now these are going to take about 5 minutes because I want to sweat them really, really gently. I don't want them to catch on the bottom. And my pasta's still got about 4 minutes to go. So we're going to fast forward through this and I will see you in 5. So that's our pasta had its full 8 minutes of cooking. So I'm just going to take it off the hob and drain it. And to save on washing up, I'm going to reuse this pan. I'm a really lazy cook, so anything that makes less mess, I'm there. So that's drained, and we just want to get all of the water out of that macaroni. That goes back into our pan. We can turn the leeks off now. So they've taken on that lovely soft texture, but they haven't just started to brown just yet, and that's just the way I want them, nice and soft. And we can turn off that fan. Now, all of our cooking is about increasing calories, so I'm going to add cream and milk to this. You need 600 millilitres of liquid, so it doesn't matter whether you want to use half cream, half milk, or whether you want to use just milk. And again, saving on washing up, I'm going to use my milk container here to do the measuring. So 300 ml of double cream. And then if I top that up again, that's 300 ml of milk. And I'm using Gold Top Jersey milk here, just again to increase the amount of calories that we're getting in there. But you're welcome to use semi-skimmed. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon, a couple of pinches of black pepper, then our leeks can go in. And I know this looks like an awful lot of cheese, and it is an awful lot of cheese. So we're going to add, that's half of the mozzarella, sorry, all of the mozzarella, all of the Gouda, and then half of the Parmesan. That all goes in, and we're going to stir that, and we're just going to leave that for the macaroni to soak up the cream and soak up the cheese. And then I've got some Dijon mustard. Give it a little bit of kick. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of this, and you can be generous. Stir that through. Now this is a really, really good recipe, and it's one of the ones that I would make and then have in the freezer because you could heat it up really quickly. It was the kind of thing that gets better actually by being cooled and then cooked again. Now once that's all combined, that goes into our baking dish. And it's amazing how that pasta, initially you kind of think, oh, not made enough, but it just expands with all of the cheese and the leeks. And then I'm going to make our topping. So that's the parmesan that I saved from earlier. I've got a little bit of thyme, fancy breadcrumbs. I'm just going to mix those together. Now, I just want the leaves off the thyme, I don't want the stalks. About 2 teaspoons of this. If you haven't got fresh thyme, then you can just use dried, it's just as good. And this is going to give us a lovely crunchy topping. Going to mix all of that together. That's just going to go on the top, right the way into the corners. And I don't know if you can see, but the dogs know that I'm a really messy cook, which is why they're both hanging around by my feet, hoping I drop something. And then with the last bit of parmesan, I'm just going to grate it over the top. That's probably enough. Now I've preheated my oven to 170, actually 180. It's a fan oven. That's going to go into the oven for about 25 minutes to half an hour. I'm going to slightly undercook it because my intention is to split it up into portions and then it's going to get reheated again later. So I don't want it to go overly brown. I just want that nice golden brown. So I'm going to pop that in the oven and I will see you in a few minutes. So that's my macaroni cheese been in the oven for half an hour, and you can see it's taken on that lovely golden colour on the topping, just started to brown around the sides, and the smell in the kitchen is just phenomenal. And you can just see the cheese is melting up there. Now, this is really, really filling. So, baking tray here, I'm going to divide that into 8. And that might not look like a massive portion, but trust me, this is really, really heavy duty food. And as well, you have to remember that the person that you're cooking for is probably going to have a slightly reduced appetite, so you can always come back for seconds. And as we dish that out, you can just see that stringy cheese there. And there we go. Mac and cheese, stolen from Russell Norman and Spuntino. And you can eat this for lunch with a green salad, but really, it's the kind of food that you need in a bowl with a spoon, pyjamas and a film. Take care. Bye.